Hello everybody and welcome to some Sanctus Reach. Warhammer 40,000 Sanctus Reach. This is basically a tactical simulation that was, I think, released a week ago, maybe a little bit more, based on the Sanctus Reach and Red WAAAAAAAGH of Games Workshop, that are a campaign setting basically for Warhammer 40,000, Warhammer 40k, however you want to pronounce it, detailing these two forces you have on the screen here. The Space Wolves, basically hyper advanced space Vikings, and the Orks, a fungus based very violent race whose pure existence is that of finding a fight, getting into a fight, and then, irrespective of whether they win or lose, finding another fight. That's the whole existence. So I thought I would just go through the tutorial bit for you at the moment, because if I go on to, I could go on to the load game, but I'm going to go on to the campaign bit over here, and you've got three campaigns you do. I am playing through this on my own, and I am probably about a third of the way through Stormclaw. Out of the Wolf I've not even started yet. It all takes place on, I think it is just this little bit down here, I think. Got to try and remember how it actually works. Yeah. I think that's kind of the map, but it is actually taking place on this tiny little line down here, because you kind of start in a little section, you kind of roll up and round and down. At least on Stormclaw, this might be the Hour of the Wolf one. Also, I've not got into it, I don't know for sure. Anyway, tutorial, so you all can see, one, what the game is like, and two, have a kind of an introduction to 40k, although in my personal opinion, it's the rule sets and everything have been modified to fit the game style. So, yeah, it's not a proper introduction to 40k, but it's good enough. The tutorial. Short tutorial, you'll learn the basics of combat. Please refer to the manual for digital manual and YouTube videos to provide you extensive information, blah 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 blah. Alaric Prime is the name of the planet that all this is taking place on. Welcome to Sanctus Reach. We're training you how to command your elite force of Space Wolves. These are Space Wolf Grey Hunters, so these are not the lowest tier. The Blood Claws are the youngest of the Space Wolves. They are close assault specialists. These are the Grey Hunters. They are tactical marines, so they're good, well, supposed to be good at all ranges, so close range and support. And if the Space Wolves survive, they go on to become Long Fangs, who are heavy support. Select Space Wolf unit by clicking on it. Bang! This shows where you can run. So I can run all the way in the highlighted area, and as you can see down here, I have 2 actions, 1 reaction, and 20 move points. So this is, I mean, 20 move points will get me there. It's less if I'm going diagonal, as you can see. The ground, although it's rough ground, I don't think it really makes any difference in the tutorial. But it wants me to move over here, which will 18 movement points. So there you go, my Grey Hunters. And here are some Orc shooter boys. Being the, what passes for ranged combatants in the Orcs, they generally aren't that good shots. The enemy! Click on the Orcs to fire at them and confirm by clicking the bullet icon. So, got my Grey Hunters. The targets show you where you can shoot. Click on the shooter boys to select them as a target. How do I want to attack them? I want to attack them with my bolters, which is a 90% chance to hit and very high damage potential. And they go down like a sack of potatoes, except that guy. That guy somehow managed to survive it. Keep firing. Sometimes it takes more than one shot. You get 2 actions, so taking a shot is an action. Attacking someone in hand-to-hand combat is an action. Movement isn't because it's separate. Special actions like throwing grenades are not classed as full actions, so you can fire twice and throw a grenade. You killed them all, well done. You can be lucky or unlucky in combat, so don't assume a single attack will defeat the enemy. Most times it won't. Unless you find a Gretchen, most of the time you're going to have to unload quite a bit of firepower. End turn, because there's nothing else I can do. Orc turn. Nothing happened that we can see. It's our turn again, so it's used the camera controls to move around. So you can see the map over here. Here's some woodlands. More woodlands over here. That's the edge of the world, or the edge of the map. That's where we came. That area is inaccessible because it's down here. I think it's inaccessible because it's surrounded. And here's a bunch of defences. So there you go. It wants us to move into cover. Right, we're moved into cover. Now we need to set our reaction arc, which means that see, there we are. So if I mouse over that, that says if anything moves into those squares or takes an action in those squares, this Grey Hunter squad will fire on them as a free action, basically. So it's like your guys going on to Overwatch. So you move them in there. You can do both your actions and set your rotation arc so that you can fire at something, set your rotation arc so that if something else moves, you can then fire at them as well. So you can, technically you can fire 3 times a turn. Orc turn, here comes the Gretchen. And that was my reaction fire for them coming into my zone of firing. Unit reacted and fired at the enemies that came into range, but most units can only react once. Unless you do, again, special abilities. Lots of Gretchen. Shouldn't be a problem for Grey Hunters. Awesome, we don't have enough shots from them all. Try to not let your units get too far away from other friendly units. It's good to have several units mutually supporting each other. Luckily, friends are on the way. Here we have them. Friendly units. Unit is equipped with flamers. Weapon is used carefully. You should be able to hit all the enemy units. Heavy weapons capable of hitting multiple units but cannot fire reaction shots, which is funny because in the actual tabletop game, flamers are probably one of the better weapons to actually have defending you with. So reaction shots, snap firing in the game is somebody charges at you, you get a chance to fire at them, but it's 13 or 15% chance to hit. Flamers, if someone charges at a guy who's got a flamer, they always hit them, and they do more damage than a single shot. So it's a bit funny that they decided to change it around from here, but there are other heavy weapons that fall into the same category, so I guess it's all mechanics. Still, so with the flamers, instead of choosing a actual unit to shoot at, I choose an area of land to shoot at. And if I hit there, that's going to get me 3 Gretchen. There we go. You see, it doesn't do a lot of damage, but it does this thing here called morale damage. Which means that I think there's 3 stages. First stage is they lose the zone of control, so you can run past them without them stopping you. Second one is they get a negative chance to hit you, and I think they lose their reaction arc. And third is they cannot do anything except run away from the enemy. Only the computer cheats with that and runs them towards you anyway. Yep, more enemy. Orks will often attack wave after wave. Ah, here we are. Blood Claws, the youngest of the Space Wolves. These guys are close assault specialists. So what they do instead of shooting, 55% chance to hit, damage medium, 120% chance to hit, damage high. You go in with the chainsaws with these guys. And, yep, as you can see there, what happens, and it says finish them off, yeah. What happens when you attack someone in combat is if they are not a combat specialist unit themselves, they will retreat and you'll follow up after them. As you can let me, yeah, there we are. So this is shake 'em. So give them -20 weapon accuracy, no counter actions, and no zone of control. You got shake. You got I think it's wavering after that, and then broken. So now that they've moved to there, I'm going to flame everybody because I can now catch that extra unit. And that's them. There we are. They've got the skulls, so they're broken. So cannot attack enemy units, no counter attacks, no zone of control, cannot move towards enemy units, but the computer cheats and moves them towards you anyway. So now they are in trouble. I will fire my bolters over these guys. That's them dealt with. Let's bolter these guys. That's them dealt with, and now I'll quickly set my blood claws again and attack this bunch of Gretchen. And as you can see, I've now got icons above my guys saying, yeah, out of ammo, meaning I've used all my attack actions. So I can still set rotation arcs. Let's set their rotation arc there. These guys can't do anything. And their rotation arc there. Ork turn. Now they, because they're broken, technically they can't do anything at all. So now if I flame here, yeah, I'm going to hit my blood claws if I flame there, so I'm not going to. So I'll just finish him off. That's them done. You flame that one Gretchen. And he's dead. And victory! That is the tutorial over. About there. Battle report. You get this at the end of every mission. This is all your various categories. So you got heroes, commanders, heavy support, which are heavy weapons, elite units, which are generally tougher, better weapons than your basic, fast attack, which are, like it says, fast attack. They're generally fast moving vehicles with light armaments. Infantry are your basic infantry, so that would be your grey hunters and your blood claws. Transport is transport vehicles. Artillery is, like it says there, artillery and total. So artillery is stuff that you kind of just drive up and lob shells over a massive distance, and you don't care if there's anything in your way or not, because you're going to hit the target no matter what anyway. I've not actually come across any heavy support units yet on the campaign, and I am technically 3 missions in. Campaign complete. The battle has been won. Sagas will be sung for victory here today, but the war is not yet over. More challenges await. Space Wolves. So go to Stormclaw and select that for now. So yeah. So this is the map. So this is the first mission you get, and then after that you get skirmish, skirmish, skirmish. Then you go on to this mission, skirmish, skirmish, skirmish. And this mission, and then I think it's, skirmish, skirmish, skirmish. That's the mission I'm on at the moment. This one, actually no, that was the one I just did, wasn't it? Yeah, that's the one I've just done. So I'm on the skirmishes down here. Acid Woods, Imperial Fortress, and Hollow Hills. So these ones, Acid Woods, all the same. Hollow Hills, all the same. And you've got variable battlefields there. So this is the next one I need to do, which is rearguard. Orc vehicles bring reinforcements from across the island. More of Crumper's killer cans emerge from the city. Fleeing Gretchen escape from Crom's assault and find themselves herded into an improvised counterattack. Unable to keep up with the Bloodclaws and the Wolf Guard, the Dreadnoughts fall back to the rear and soon find themselves surrounded. Hengst's Iron Axe leads his surviving Grey Hunters on a punishing quick march to inform Crom of Gruck's whereabouts and the loss of the Thunderhawk. So Crom is one of the heroes. Hengst's Iron Axe is the first guy you get here. He's the first champion, and you've got a defensive action. Most missions revolve around capturing and holding victory points for a certain amount of turns. There can be other optional objectives. This one, for example, you need to get one of your transports to a certain location. This one you need to kill a certain amount of Orc Dreadnoughts, killer cans as they're called, and then hold objective points. That one I'm assuming is going to be just hold the line, survive waves, and you can go and the campaign will progress all the way down here. Then you got done that, and you have skirmish, 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 skirmish. Next big mission, Fortress 26, skirmish, 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 and then into Gothtown. So that's how the campaign works. If you want to see me do that, then by all means let me know, but otherwise this has been a brief introduction to Warhammer 40k Sanctus Reach, and yeah, as I say, it's recently released. I think it's not too expensive, and it can be quite fun if you like tactical tactical battlefield command games, where you get to build your little force from points given and try and use them to defeat the enemy. So until then, thanks for watching. I've got no idea what's coming up next yet. Possibly Torment when it's released, because apparently it's the spiritual successor to Planescape Torment, and as you've seen, I've played that before and I fucking loved it, because, fucking awesome game. So who knows? But yeah, until whenever I do something else, thanks for watching and good night.